Hey folks, good Monday afternoon to you. I thought I would take this dreary first snow in Chicago moment to just do a small little tutorial on doing production orders with nitro gloves. Over the last few weeks, it's become obvious to a lot of people that the millions and millions and billions of boxes that are supposedly on the ground in some weird and mysterious warehouses across the US don't really exist. And so a lot of people that actually need nitrile gloves are moving to production and trying to find people that can do production for them. And there are people in the business that can get into some smaller factories and actually get production of some good quality nitrile gloves. So it is available. It's not easy, but it is available. But I just thought I would go through the 5 steps that you need to really be careful of to make sure that you're doing a deal with someone that's legitimate. Unfortunately, there's a ridiculous amount of nefarious stuff that's going on in the glove industry, and as sad as I am about it, I think the best way to combat it is by trying to educate people. So the first thing is if somebody's telling you they can get production from a specific factory, they should pretty quickly be able to get you samples in the mail. They should be able to FedEx you some samples. If it's a large order, you should be able to get a box. If it's a smaller order, you should at least be able to get a Ziploc baggie full of gloves and maybe a picture with your FedEx label with the box showing that the gloves came from the box. So there should be some type of proof of product with that. But if somebody's saying they can get container loads of gloves from a factory, certainly they can get you a box or some samples fairly quickly. So that's one. If somebody's saying they have access to a brand, they should be able to provide the sample. One. The second thing is they should be able to fairly quickly provide you with some past bill of ladings or some custom documents that prove they brought in some gloves. No one that has brought in gloves before would not want to use that as a badge of honor to say, hey, listen, I brought in 6 containers in the last couple of months. I brought in 2 containers. Here's my bill of ladings. Here's my customs clearance. It should be pretty simple. If they can't produce that or are resisting producing that, you need to ask yourself why. The third thing is references, right? Who have you sold your gloves to before? Who's bought containers of gloves from you before, or containers of masks or gowns? Kind of let me know that you've been in this industry. Maybe if you haven't done too many glove deals, at least you can send out some references of people that can say that they've done transactions with you before. It's super important, and that should be something very quick. If you ask me, I have an email ready, dialed in to just press send. It's got about 32 names on it. Some of them are fairly impressive of people that I've transacted before with. So references, that's number 3. The third thing is deposit. Now, a lot of people will talk about escrow and LC. I got another video for that because most of that is wire fraud, bank fraud, organized crime stuff, and I'll get into that later. But for now, if you're gonna make a deposit, you should always make the deposit to the factory. If you're making a deposit to somebody like me and then I'm gonna pay the factory, that might be one thing. But don't be paying someone overseas that isn't connected with the factory. You should be paying your 30 or 50% deposit directly to the factory's account. And it's pretty easy to verify that, and there should be no reason why somebody that's selling you this production wouldn't be okay with you paying the deposit straight to the factory. So that's number 4, I think. And then number 5, and this is super important, the inspection for your gloves needs to happen on the factory grounds. So every factory has a big production facility, they have a repacking facility, they have an inspection facility, or a place where they corral the orders, stuff the containers, seal them up. SGS can come in, or some other companies, TUVs or Satra, and do the inspection. The inspection has to happen on the factory premise. If somebody's telling you that the inspection is going to happen off the factory premise, that's a huge red flag. It's a great place for them to do a lot of bait and switch, to take gloves that they got from the factory, steal them, and fill the front end of your container with a bunch of crap. So, reviewing again, you should be able to get samples from whoever's telling you they have production. You should be able to get past bill of ladings and customs clearances for anybody that's done anybody that's done glove deals. 3, you should be able to quickly get some references that are legitimate and that take no time to verify. Number 4, you should pay your deposits directly to the factory. And number 5, the inspection for the gloves needs to happen on factory premise. That's what I got today. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe out there.